Hello. Today I want to talk about my Books for Charity project. Again, very briefly, because I received a very sad email from my friend Patrick Chimuso, who runs Two Sisters Orphanage in South Africa, where he uh, takes care of and provides medical care and also food and meals for 188 orphans orphaned by HIV in South Africa. Now, Patrick is a remarkable man who spent 10 years in prison for fighting apartheid in South Africa and was unjustly tortured. And upon his release, instead of seeking revenge upon those that had tortured him and wrongly put him in jail, he decided to transform his anger and his frustration and any resultant rage for being in prison for 10 years into love and home to care for orphans. Now, recently he wrote me that 6 of the children he takes care of died in June. And unfortunately now, he said now that his food has run out and his lot costs have now become variable, and now cost him 25,000 South African rand a month to feed his kids instead of 15,000 South African rand. So that's an increase of 10,000 over 15,000, which is a 75% increase in food prices. And this all ties into my Books for Charity project because a lot of people don't understand that central banks are killing people this way because they are destroying our fiat currency, and they are largely responsible for the massive food hikes or hikes in food prices across the world. Patrick also wrote to me in his most recent email. Unfortunately, all his volunteers have disappeared too because he said no one can afford to work without pay anymore. So if we look at the global economy, we look at the youth unemployment rate in Portugal and Greece being over 50% for those aged 25 and under. If we look at the situation in the U.S. with recent stats, I think at some point earlier this year, they said those under the age of 34, like 1/3 of those have moved back in with their parents because of lack of ability to secure full-time employment so that they can live on their own. So, everywhere you see job creation is terrible. And this all has to come down. I don't want to go too much into it because I explain it in my book, The Golden Gift, which is one of the books I'm selling as part of this project, and of which I'm donating 100% of the profits from first-year sales to 3 organizations, one being Patrick Chimuso's orphanage, Two Sisters, the other one being a global organization that helps all children all over the world called Future Lights Kids, and the third one being one that helps children with learning disabilities titled the Mulligan Project. So I think it's really important because this kind of ties into everything that I read that made my heart really heavy when I was reading Patrick's email, is that these problems are being caused by what the central banks and commercial banks are doing today. And they're destroying people's livelihoods by driving food prices sky high for the poor so they can no longer afford to eat, making life extremely difficult as far as being responsible for a lot of the massive unemployment rates all over the world. So it's harder for people to volunteer because they're so worried about their own families and themselves and making enough money to feed their own families. So I hope, this is the goal of my project, was to educate people as far as what are the true reasons behind. Forget about the propaganda and forget about, I'll make another video soon that talks about how CNN actually gets paid off. They get paid bribes by heads of state to run nonsense, rubbish news on CNN, and people believe that this is true. And so this has been proven by a whistleblower, CNN, that was fired. And so I'll talk about this in another video that I'll release in the next week. But we are living in a world today where people don't understand why is this happening. Why are food prices soaring? Why is unemployment so high? Why is the economic situation so dire? And in order to solve the problems, we need to understand it first. So please, if you can, I know like money is tight. Money's tight for me as well, because this was probably one of the slowest years for my business in the last 5 years. I think it is the slowest year of the last 5 years. But still, I probably spent about $1,000 of my own money to launch this project. So I would encourage any of you that can afford to, or just can forego Starbucks for a month or something to make a contribution. That would be great. And even better yet, educate yourself too. So please check out our Books for Charity project at www.smartknowledgeu.com/booksforcharity.php, and I'll also put the link in the description below. Again, if you like this video, please don't forget to click the like button below. Share this video with others. Click the share button above. And please comment below as far as what other videos you would like to see in the future. And again, I thank you so much for taking the time to listen to a message that's dear to my heart, a project that's dear to my heart. And hopefully we can raise enough money to really, really help some children around the world that are struggling because of what bankers are doing to our fiat currencies, and because of the fact that they're destroying our fiat currency. So please keep the faith, stay strong, and until next time, have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.